morning, good evening, good night. Welcome back to Lana's Little Things with me, Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, talking all things on living agelessly, bridging generational gaps, family caregiving. You know how that goes. Just the entrepreneurship life and life itself. And of course, it's got to be special if Phoenix is joining us. So, hi, Phoenix. Well, he's the only man in the house, so he's a man of the house. So he's, I guess, appropriate for our talk tonight because what are we doing? It's November 2nd already. Can you imagine the year is almost done? And so we'll be talking about November being prostate health. It is also the month in which we acknowledge and be more mindful of diabetes. But think of my intention is to focus on prostate health this particular year, and I which we do every year, and maybe just a touch on later in the month on diabetes. All right, because it's a scourge where in the Caribbean where I'm from Barbados. It's a scourge wherever you are in the world. It's increasing, but we in Barbados and in the Caribbean, we got some special statistics. I can tell you that. And really, it behooves us all to be gents, to be a little bit more mindful. It's always said that women always going to the doctor, but to your credit, men have also been increasing, and so we want to encourage all males to, after this, have a little bit more insight into what prostate health, not just cancer, prostate health is all about, how you go about looking for signs that something might be wrong with your prostate, when is it a concern for your prostate to look out for, and then what can you do, obviously. So we're going to break this down into two parts. We'll talk initially about what prostate health, what the prostate is, what health is all about, and then we're going to talk about why it's important, how you can screen, who's at risk. The next part of this, next week, we will talk a little bit more about symptoms and investigations and then what you can do. Alrighty, deal. So what I want you to do is place any comments for me, if you will. Gents, friends of gents, ladies, the gents probably ain't gonna rate this in, so you can help us out here by saying what symptoms have you been hearing your spouse or your male partner mentioning. Gents, what symptoms are you having? And how do you know that they're significant? See, Phoenix wants to know too. Want to say it, Baba? Thank you. So, prostate. The prostate is a gland. Well, as you know, it's very deep in the urinary tract. So it's kind of behind the bladder. And it's around the neck of the bladder. So the bladder is like a little, you could say, balloon of fluid, which is urine. Kidneys filter that, comes down, and then it goes into the urine goes into the bladder, and the prostate is just around that tube that then comes out for you to urinate. So if that prostate gets bigger around that tube, that leads to the symptoms. We won't talk about that tonight. So why is it that first of all, why is it that males have and prostate issues and prostate cancer, why is that on the rise? I'll just give a statistic that I read from several places of research. You can check them out too. I'll leave them in the description below. But it's the number one cause of cancer in the world, and it's projected to increase by 3 million worldwide by 2040. Now we thought 2040 was far. We also thought 2030 was far. It's 2024, and that's going to soon finish. So it's not that far away. The Caribbean, our statistics a little bit skewed because of different reporting, but it is extremely high as well. And we have millions of thousands of males with prostate related issues, and then prostate cancer is also on the increase. There's so many different reasons for that. Men not generally wanting to go to the doctor and so on. So, wherever you are, I hope you will be able to, whether it's morning, evening, or night, like and subscribe based on what you hear. Tell a friend. Write your experiences down. Let's share. A problem shared is a problem halved. So we'll go right into it. So apart from describing where the prostate is, it is a gland that will produce male hormones over your lifetime. It is a gland that regulates you as a male and all the things that go with male. So not just your hormones, but all the structures around there for libido, for just normal urination. And if you go ascending, it affects kidney function as well. It affects your overall bone health. It affects your general health. And because it has hormone, it's a hormone really. This is the hormone testosterone. That in itself will have so many hormones that can affect other hormones. So it's not something to be taken lightly, gents. And definitely something not to be afraid of. And we'll get to that. All right. So we're going to a few different things. We spoke about what the prostate is all about. We're going to talk about why does it get larger. Well, imagine, yes, male and female, and this is gender assigned to you at birth. Male and female genders are born with both estrogen, female predominantly, and testosterone predominantly as our sex hormones. That's what makes us either gender, generally. So the testosterone, that is the male hormone. But obviously they have a bit of female hormones because design likes balance, creator likes balance. You know me, I love my God, the creator is just a genius at putting all these things together. No chance encounters. So we have that balance, and that keeps bone health, brain health, other hormone health. We won't go into all that, not taking to medical school. But just suffice it to say, we all need those hormones. And in males, testosterone is the hormone. And that's not the one that just gives you a deeper voice and makes your throat deeper, bigger, the Adam's apple bigger, literally, and gives you more muscles than women in general. But it also affects your libido, your sperm health, sexual health, bone health, as we mentioned before, and also just the basic ability to pass urine. Hey, we all need that. So why does it get older as you get? Why does it get bigger as you get older and then cause problems? So imagine if you have testosterone and the prostate is a certain size, like a lemon, and it's around this tube that's coming down for you to pass urine. If it gets bigger, it's going to kind of squeeze on that tube, and that's what causes a problem. So it gets bigger because as you are older, you have less testosterone that you produce to the estrogen that you would have had before. So it's not that you're producing more estrogen, you're just producing less testosterone as you get older. And so that balance is kind of off. So some men may note increased breast tissue. They may note their voices change. They may not. They feel their bones may be a little weaker because testosterone does make bone density, help with bone density and being bigger, denser than women. And so that's part. So it will get bigger, trying to make more hormone, if that makes sense. But just getting bigger is gonna get bigger around the tube coming out, which is urethra for you to pass urine. So you see the science behind it. It's not a guesswork. It's just bigger, gents, because you're older. certain things happen because you're older. Remember, aging is not a disease, it's just a process. So we understand what's happening. Okay. And then there's not just the cells change with age, but if the cells change too rapidly or they change to a different type, then that becomes an abnormal cell. And that cell is at risk of becoming cancerous. So, this is why this leads us to the importance of screening. This leads us to the importance of knowing what your symptoms are. This leads to the importance of identifying what your risks are and how you can mitigate your risks. Okay? So, we talked about cells changing or mutating and causing prostate cancer. What's the other thing? Because of the increase in persons being indoors, uh, less active as you get older, and generally people indoors, even though you're working longer, you're in offices. Most people are not outdoors. For some of you, it's getting to winter time and it's cooler and you're not as outdoors, and therefore your vitamin D levels go down. So that affects your testosterone as well. It's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect your bones. It's going to affect the growth of the prostate. So vitamin D actually will help. It affects you. So that's one little spoiler alert for next time. Vitamin D. How do these symptoms show up? And who is at risk? Who's at risk? If I spent that list, we'd be here until I don't know what's today, Saturday, probably next Saturday. But just suffice it to say, the risks are, as they generally tend to be, of not just prostate health, prostate enlargement, but also prostate cancer. So, if genetics, those are the big role. If you have family history of prostate enlargement, that's like going to be you. Doesn't have to be. If you have a history of prostate or any other cancers, and I mean any other cancers in any family members, whether it be breast, colon, or um, ovarian, yes, you might have a sister with ovarian cancer, mom, a first degree relative with ovarian cancer, breast cancer. All those things put you at higher risk because the tendency to make an abnormal cell is higher. Those who smoke is higher because it can dysregulate your cells. Those of you, there's not as much literature with drinking, but definitely smoking. So, with all of that, diets high in fats, grease. You know, you could always, I could, it almost sounds like a stock record. Diets that are low in good, the good vitamins. Diets are low in vitamins, period. Vegetables, minerals. And the only one that's really kind of off is vitamin E. It's thought not to be prostate helpful, instead it's harmful. So even though we're going to talk about that next week, I just want you to be aware and speak to your doctor about vitamin E. The research is showing that it's harmful and not helpful. If there's anyone with any new research, because this is recent research, if there's anyone with something happening in the last 6 months, do let me know. I'm open to I'm open to the information. So I hope this helped. Prostate health, gents, November. Be mindful that your prostate is not just an organ that exists where you can't see it and might stop you from passing urine, but it also produces and helps so many other processes in your life. And as you get older, you have to be even more mindful. When I say older, in the Caribbean, 35 and over. Globally, 40 and over. So please be mindful, especially if you have a family history. The earlier you go detecting it, the better. Just be mindful, be aware. And I hope this has helped. And if you have any questions, let me know. Join me on lanaslittleThings.com, where I have much more information where you can review this YouTube. I have information on family caregiving, There's a course in family caregiving which will soon be up for you. So you can just access it, and then you can feel free to ask any questions of me at lana@lananmd.com. Looking forward to your comments. Always amazing to interact with you, and happy November. Month to be thankful, yes? So we'll talk some more next week. Until then, from my heart to yours, I'm Phoenix. Bye bye. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Mwah.